Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
All right. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Clumsy Katrina and Jack-o'-lantern Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Oh man.
Look at
us.
Clumsy. Jack.
Jack. Okay, so we are almost through with the Freddy series.
Yep.
We're now on one where he doesn't team up, he faces.
He kind of does at first.
Yeah, he kind of teams up and then he gets in a little bit of a tussle.
Yeah.
So this one is Freddy versus Jason from 2003.
Oh,
Joel,
man.
what do we got?
All right. Well, Robert Englund.
Oh!
I know. Crazy. He is in, it's an animated horror called Abruptio. The Mole Man of Belmont Avenue, and Python. And then we've got Monica Keena. She plays Lori, and she was in While You Were Sleeping, way back in the mid-90s. Night of the Demons and Orange County. And then we got Jason Ritter, who plays Will. He is in W, that George W. Bush movie that they made.
Okay.
Parenthood, he was in 32 episodes of that. And Frozen 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This was written by Mark Swift. He wrote the Friday the 13th reboot and Baywatch.
Oh.
And the same with Damian Shannon. I think they're partners.
Mm-hmm.
They have the exact same. And then there's 3 that are still haven't come out yet that are in pre-production. And then it was directed by Ronnie Yu. He directed Bride of Chucky, Formula 51, and Fearless, the Jet Li movie. So
Okay.
All right. Okay, this one is about Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees return to terrorize the teenage population. Except this time, they're out to get each other too.
oh man.
So, you were talking about the writers.
Yeah.
This went through so many different scripts.
I bet it probably did, yeah.
This was like a movie decades in the making.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was watching the documentary, there was some really weird directions writers were wanting to take this. And so I'm glad with the final product that actually came of it. But yeah.
Pretty straightforward. It was going to take some sci-fi bizarre.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember everything, but it was some what? That doesn't even make sense. So they tried to go too far with it. So I really like how it ended up, and so let's start talking about what we liked about it.
All right.
Okay, am I on first?
Yep.
Okay. I like the idea of these 2 big guys coming in. I mean, not one's really big, but these 2 big characters coming and battling each other.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I love when they get them actually battling each other.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And I love the idea that they had to think of what is, Freddy, how did Freddy die? What is his, I can't think of that word, but
His weakness?
There's
yeah.
fear.
Anyway, his weakness, I guess we'll say, and what is Jason's, and then like that they're total opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I loved how they used that.
Yeah.
And Freddy's humor in this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
This is probably my favorite Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
I like him in 5 and 6 because he's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this one, I think he's not too over the top.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the right amount of silly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's definitely my favorite. And this is like, this was 17 years ago, 18 years ago.
2003, yeah.
Yeah. Feels like it wasn't that long ago. But anyways.
I know.
Robert Englund's still alive, but he was pretty old when he did this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
In his last time as Freddy.
Yeah.
Well, he said he wants to do like one more, but I don't think that's a wise thing to do, because you're just gonna leave people like wanting more and more of Freddy, and sometimes it's okay to just call it quits and move on with somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he said that he was also down to do like an animated movie, like a cartoon or like series or something like that. It'd be kind of fun. Like you could get away with a lot as an animated show. But yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed this movie a lot. I saw this movie in theaters when it first came out. I wasn't 17 yet, but a group of us went to go see SWAT, and that was PG-13. So after that, we snuck into Freddy vs. Jason, and
Rebels
admitting on national radio.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a really fun experience, and just seeing those two fight each other. After all the movies that both of them have done, it seems kind of pointless because neither one of them can actually die. But it was still fun to see. To see them battling it out, and it was the acting was passable for slasher,
for a horror movie.
Horror movie, yeah. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. The opening scene itself is amazing.
Yeah. The whole monologue.
Yeah, the monologue. And that whole scene was so good. And I guess technically the first kill scene at the house with the with Jason. Like stabbing the guy after sex in the back, and then like squishing him into the bed, like
folds him up.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I don't like how I don't know if it was one of the cops were like, that's got to be Freddy. Like Freddy hasn't been a part of anything, and Freddy hasn't had a movie in like years. And then you see one person die. No, it's got to be Freddy. And that's when the name comes up. And
spreads.
So it's like, why would you even go to like that conclusion right away?
Right.
But yeah, so it was a very entertaining movie for sure. I enjoyed it.
For me, Freddy is the best part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they brought them together was cool. The way that this even came to be. Freddy wanted to get back into everybody's life.
Yeah.
So he needed somebody to start killing people.
Yeah.
So he brought Jason. So then they would think it was him.
Mm-hmm.
So then everybody starts talking about Freddy again.
Yeah.
And then he's able to get in their dreams and get them.
Did they bring back the original mom from Friday? Yeah. There was a scene at the very beginning where you kill for mommy.
Yeah, I think that was her.
Yeah.
And then he didn't really take into account that Jason isn't going to stop killing people. So Jason just continues and gets Freddy upset. And so then the teenagers that are all being victimized by this tried to figure out how they can bring them both together so they can fight each other. And that's what happens. So cool. And like, I don't know why there were so many different versions of this, because that's just the only way you can do it. You know, you think about it, that's...
I'm kind of curious about what the other versions were.
And the Hypnosil, they brought that back in from the third movie. So they were taking, the kids that knew about Freddy, put them in a mental hospital, and had them taking this medication.
That was the third movie?
It was in the third movie, Nancy was taking it so she wouldn't have dreams about Freddy. And so that they wouldn't talk about Freddy, so they were just basically put into this place to quarantine. So I don't know, it brought Springwood back. It brought Springwood back. So I love it. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. It was on my top 10.
It was.
If you remember. The cast is fine. Nothing wrong with the cast. Jason's pretty good for Jason. He's pretty brutal. The kills were good. The violence at the end with the whole fight between Jason and Freddy.
Them two.
So ridiculous. The stuff Freddy says, and just when he takes Jason into the dream and is bouncing him around everywhere like a pinball machine. It is just awesome. Just so funny. Okay. Negatives.
I'm gonna say I don't know that I have any negatives, really. I mean, I don't like Jason. I just don't. And I don't like the whole the horror movie, teenagers having sex, all this stuff, and then getting killed. Like, I don't like that. But you can't have
that's just
part
Friday
Jason
13th.
movie. You can't have a partly Jason, half Jason movie without that. So I can't have it as a negative. But if I had to pick a negative, that would have to be, I just don't like Jason.
Okay.
I don't like Jason more than I don't like Freddy.
Okay. All right.
So you're Team Freddy
in this movie. Yeah. I wouldn't call myself a Team Freddy person. I'm scared of Freddy. But
they were Team Jason in the movie.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they wanted Jason to take Freddy out.
Yeah.
Because they were the ones having the dreams.
Well, if I was in the movie, I would want that too.
Yeah.
Because I think I think Freddy is scarier and you have less control and power over Freddy than you do over this being that can't be killed, but still, it's, Yeah. I'd rather be killed by Jason than Freddy.
There you go. All right.
All right. Yeah, I don't really have too many negatives. It was just weird. The whole scene with that one character that gets high, like turns into or sees like a Freddy like caterpillar.
That's what I was gonna say.
That was a weird part.
That was dumb.
And
so I do remember that.
That character was like very
unnecessary.
Well, he tried too hard. If you are familiar with like the Jay and Silent Bob movies, he tried way too hard to be the Jay character, and
he pretty much was.
Yeah, he was.
He had the same look and everything.
Yeah.
Didn't they have the same outfit?
I think so.
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, "Where's Silent Bob?"
Yeah.
So that was like way too like in your face. Like this character's trying too hard to be another character that's not in a horror universe. So that whole scene was just really weird for me. That was probably my main negative that I have for it.
Yeah.
Really. It's a good movie all around.
That's mine too. And I want Freddy to get to kill more people. He only got to do one guy. Jason got to have a lot more fun. So.
Yeah, he did.
So
are you team Freddy or Jason?
I'm always gonna like Freddy more than Jason.
Yeah.
But in the movie, you have to root for Jason for the
movie.
For the movie. But
Yeah.
I wanted to see Freddy get more action.
Yeah.
You know? He didn't have a lot of action.
Yeah.
So, but before we do our rating, who won?
Freddy.
Yeah, I would say Freddy.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, you see Jason come out of the water and he's holding Freddy's head, but then he winks, so it's not over.
Yeah.
And
Freddy's in your dream.
Yeah, and even Jason dreams.
Yeah.
So even he can even get into Jason's dreams, nightmares. So
it sounds like he's still kind of manipulating Jason because Jason pulled him out of the water.
Yeah.
Jason was fighting him.
Yeah.
So why would he help him? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
Freddy is more the brains. Jason's more the brawn.
I did have another negative. They put Freddy's afraid of fire, Jason's afraid of water.
Yeah.
But Jason isn't afraid of water. He drowned.
Yeah.
But in all the other films,
jumped out of water in a couple movies.
He's hidden in water. He's come out of water.
Yeah.
But water is aversive for him.
Yeah. Because he drowned. But
yeah.
But how many times has he died since they did Freddy vs. Jason in different ways?
Yeah.
I mean, you drowned as a kid. That sucks. But you've also died many ways, probably by fire at one point too.
Probably.
So
that didn't necessarily make sense. But
it's traumatic for him.
Yeah, it's traumatic. Yes.
It has the most trauma.
Hey, even killers have feelings too.
Well, the most traumatic thing for him is teenagers teasing him. So, really, it doesn't have to be a...
Well, that's why he goes around killing teenagers.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let's rate it.
All right.
Okay. So, for the Freddy movies, I'm giving it a 98.
Okay.
All right.
So I had
Just
to give the
under
other one. Yeah.
New Nightmare.
So 98. This is definitely the second best of the Freddy movies. And all together, I'll give this movie still like a slasher horror movie. I'm gonna give it a 80.
Okay.
All right.
What about you?
Respectable number.
I guess.
I'm gonna give this one. I gave New Nightmare 3. I think I'm gonna give this one an 86.
Okay.
This one a little bit more. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going 95.
Oh wow.
It's one of my favorites ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one I can just throw on and have fun with. I watch it probably a couple times a year.
Oh, a couple times.
This Halloween 5.
I think, yeah. Between this and Halloween 5, it's like every other month, it's one or the other.
Oh, man. It's a fun movie. And I can watch this movie just 15 minutes of it and be good. Turn it off. Like, all right, I got my Freddy and Jason movie in, So.
Just that opening scene.
Yeah, I just need that.
Just turn it off. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's good enough. All right. Well, that was our episode on Freddy vs. Jason. We have one more to go. The remake of The Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep. And we have a ranking.
2010?
Yeah, 2010.
And then we'll do a ranking. So look out for those. Catch up on all the other ones if you have not listened yet. There are 7 other films that we reviewed. And so, this has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Freddy or Jason know.